Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan,
Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan,
Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan,
Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan,
Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan, Swaminarayan, Swami. शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद, शोभित सहजानंद, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। प्रफुल्लित बदन बैठे कानकासन, प्रफुल्लित बदन बैठे कानकासन, करुणानिधि सुख कंद हो, करुणानिधि सुख कंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। प्रथम अर्घ जाले पान कीने, मलय सहित सुगंध हो, मलय सहित सुगंध। उर सोहत कर्पूर की माला, उर सोहत कर्पूर की माला, कुंडल अरु बाजू बंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। फेंटो गुलाबी तोरो सोहे, नटवर त्रिभुवन वंद, नटवर त्रिभुवन वंद। ललित चरण कर कंकन शोभित, ललित चरण कर कंकन शोभित, कहाँ बरनो मति मंद हो, कहाँ बरनो मति मंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज, शोभित सहजानंद। अंगो अंग चंदन की शोभा, मानो किरण इंद हो, मानो किरण इंद। उडुगन परमहंस मिली निरखत, उडुगन निरखत निमिष निवारी पल द्वंद देखो आज शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज शोभित सहजानंद। मंगल गावत करत आरती सुर बरखत आनंद सुर बरखत आनंद प्रेमानंद लखी शोभाउर प्रेमानंद लखी शोभाउर पूरन गोकुल चंद हो पूरन गोकुल चंद देखो आज शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज शोभित सहजानंद शोभित सहजानंद शोभित सहजानंद देखो आज शोभित सहजानंद प्रफुल्लित सर्वावतारी विश्वदेव भगवान श्री स्वामीनारायण पूज्यपाद शास्त्री जी महाराज पूज्यपाद श्री महाराज पूज्यपाद सद्गुरु श्री देवप्रसाद दासी स्वामी all other pious and Brahmanic saints and my dear devotees, Satyas Jai Swaminarayan. So today we are going to read and discuss Vachnamrit number 10 of Leya Satsang.
It is very deep, insightful Vachanamrutam. So I do request all our family members have concentration here. Swaminarayan Hare, Swaminarayan Hare. In the Samvat year 1877, on the 8th day of the bright half of the month of Margashirsh, in the early morning, Sriji Maharaj was seated on a wooden bedstead laid in the darbar of Surakhachar in Loya. He had put on a white trouser and a jacket of white chintz. He had put on his head a white headdresses. Saints and devotees from various places had gathered before him in an assembly. Then Nityanand Swami asked, there are some people in this world who get so much attached to women and such other worldly things that they would give up their lives if they are separated from them. And there are others who, though attached to women and other things, will not end their lives if they happen to get separated from them. Their attachment is just normal. Now, those who have an attachment for worldly affairs will develop an equally deep attachment for God if they have God realization. They would end their life if they are separated from God. And those whose attachment for the worldly affairs is just normal will have just normal attachment for God also. Now my question is the distinction between these two types of people due to their own actions, or is it so from time immortal? Sriji Maharaj, Ms. Bhagavan Swaminarayan replied, the distinction between these two types is not inherent. They develop into these two types on account of their own actions. When a person acts, the intensity of the urge to act falls into three categories: low, moderate, and high. The effect of his actions depends upon the intensity of the urge to acquire substance, and hence his attachment for that substance also will fall in three categories. Iti a para of footnote number 10, Loya chapter. Yeah. So what is the question? Who remembered? Can anybody repeat the question? Yes. Yeah, Ashish sir.
Swamiji, yes, Swamiji. The question was, there are two types of persons. Some of the persons, they are so much attached to the worldly relations. If they are separated, they commit suicide. Means it is a high level of their reaction. Another is medium level. If they are separated also, they will not go up to that level of committing suicide. Now the question is whether this is inherent or it is been developed by their own action. That was the question, Swami.
Yeah. So very interesting question Bhagavan Sri Swaminarayan had asked in this Vachanamritam. My dear Gurukul family members, there are two types of people in this world. One, those who have very deep affection and attachment for God. And second, those who have normal affection with God. Those who have deep affection with God, is it inherent or is it developed? Generally, when we see in the society, somebody is more devotional, more affected to God or loving to God. So what we judge or what we comment on that, we say that, yes, he is so lucky and fortunate that he is having that love and affection with God. Right? Now, in this Vachanamritam, Bhagavan Swaminarayan is saying that there are some people in this world who get so much attached to the women as well as such worldly things that if they are separated, they are ready to give up their life. Means they cannot remain separated. They have intense affection or attachment to the family, to the wife, or to the worldly things. So their attachment or affection is the highest level of affection. And now the same person, if he is turned to the God or godly path, his love for God will be also intensified, or his love for God also will be the highest or normal. And there are people in this world, those who have normal love and affection or attachment to the world or worldly things, and they turn to the godly path. So their love and affection to the God or godly path will be just normal or what? This is the question. I think everyone of you getting me, right? Praveen sir, is it clear? Question is clear? Okay, fine. Sambhasiva sir, question is clear? Sambhasiva sir. Okay. So before Bhagavan Swaminarayan answers, if question is asked to us, if I ask to you the same question, what is your answer? Yeah, Praveen sir.
Swamiji, Jai Swaminarayan.
Jai Swaminarayan.
So connecting to God is blessing, Swamiji. It is, we can say like connecting to God is nothing but means Bhagavan Swaminarayan blessings on us is nothing but it is a fortunate. It is.
Okay. Well,
So
anybody else?
everyone will not have that, will not get this chance, this opportunity.
Yes.
Only previously what we did with that karmas only will get blessings of Bhagavan Swaminarayan.
Only Swamijis will have that fortune, right? Not
Not like that, sir.
then. Okay, so only Swamijis and principals will have this fortune, right? Not teachers. Okay, fine. Yeah. I think Amit Soni sir want to say something.
Jai Swaminarayan, Swamiji.
Jai Swaminarayan.
Swamiji, as far as my opinion is there or belief is there, I think it is about our previous karma and the purity of the soul which have taken other place in this second birth or next birth, and because of that we have different level of devotion.
Yeah, that's what in this Vachanamritam. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, sorry for disturbance. So this is what the misunderstanding or myth of spiritual path Bhagavan Sri Swaminarayan wants to clarify or disclose. We are very smart and clever. So all the time we have many excuses as well as escapes. So if somebody is deeply loving to the God, by seeing him, what we judge ourselves or to the him is, yes, something different. But let us, before we go ahead, if we see in the history, there are many examples of such devotees that when they were not turned into the devotee, before that, they were strongly attached to the world and worldly affairs. And same people, when they turned to the godly path, they also became the highest level of devotee. For example, Tulsidasji. So Tulsidasji is Tulsi Ram. His was previous name or old name was Tulsi Ram. He was born in Uttar Pradesh. He was born in Brahmin family. He was married with very beautiful woman, and her name was Ratnavali. His wife name was
Recording in progress.
Ratnavali. Now, Tulsidas ji was deeply attached to his wife. She was also beautiful and good-looking lady, and generally everybody loves their wife, no doubt. But Tulsidas ji was highly and deeply attached to his wife. One day, what happened? Without information, his wife, Miss Ratnavali, went to his father's house. When Tulsidas ji came back to the home, he did not find his wife. And he understood that she went to his her father's home. Now, as Bhagavan Swaminarayan described in the original Vachanamrut text, that there are people, some people, those who cannot remain or cannot live without his loving partner or loving XYZ things. He cannot be separated. He cannot remain separated. So Tulsidas ji, Miss Tulsi Ram, could not remain even for a day without her wife, his wife. So he stood up at night. It was dark night. It was monsoon season. It was raining. Yamuna river was flowing with full of waters. But even though, with the help of one dead body, he thought that this dead body is nothing but a wood log. So with the help of, it was a dark night, and he was so excited to meet his wife, Ratnavali. So he crossed the whole river, Yamuna river, and at night he reached to his wife. At seeing Tulsi Ram at midnight, her father's house, even she was shocked. She was shocked, as well as she felt little like ashamed. And then she said, Asthi charma maya de yaha taso aisi priti neku jo hoti ram se to kahe bhav bhit. Asthi charma maya de yaha. You have this much affection for this body, or just fair skin. In this body, what is there? All dirty things are covered with this fair skin. And you have this much affection and attachment or love for this, my body. If you have this affection, or even just half of this affection or love for Bhagavan Shri Ram, then you will be free from cycle of deaths and births. Asthi charma maya deyah taso isi priti neku jo hoti ram se to kahe bhavit. Means, if you have even half of this attachment and love for God, then you will not have births and deaths. You will have salvation. And these words at that moment, because it was very high emotional moment. Tulsi Ram was not able to remain without seeing his wife, and so at midnight he crossed the river, and it was monsoon, dark night, rain was falling, and he reached to her wife's house, and he thought that might she welcome him with whole love and affection. And she shouted very sharp words that if you have even half of this love for God, you will be free from deaths and births. And that was pierced Tulsi Ram's hearts, and he, on the spot, he left from there, and then he became Tulsi Das, means the great devotee of Bhagavan Sri Ram. So what Bhagavan Sri Swaminarayan is saying in this Vachanamrutam, one who is having that level of love and affection to the world or worldly things, when he turns to the godly path, then again he will have that level of love for the God. There is another great example of Angulimal. So Angulimal was a student of Taxila University. He was very brilliant and clever student. He was clever and he was excellent in all his subjects. Because of this, other students were feeling jealousy for him. They also made their teachers to believe that, yes, this actually his previous name was Ahimsak. So they said that Ahimsak is a evil, he knows some black Vidya, and teachers also believed that and decided to get rid of Ahimsak. I request all teachers to listen very carefully this story. So this story begins at the University of Taxila, which is a very great university in ancient India. This Ahimsak was a very sharp and brilliant student. He was clever and excellent in all subjects. But because of that, other his classmates started feeling jealousy for him, and they made up stories to make their teachers believe that Ahimsak is a evil. And the teacher also believed that, and teachers decided to get rid of Ahimsak. The teacher was knowing that Ahimsak is very obedient student. So whatever he say, he will listen. So teacher said that Ahimsak, as a part of graduation or degree or as a Dakshina, Guru Dakshina, you have to give 1,000 little fingers. You have to give as a Guru Dakshina. Guru Drona have asked only one thumb, right? Yeah. But this modern Guru had asked 1,000 little fingers. And Ahimsak went to the forest to collect 1,000 fingers. He believed his teacher's word as it is. But as nobody was, who will give little finger? And finally, this had turned Ahimsak to the Hinsak and robber or terror. And my dear family members, then he started killing people and taking out or cutting out their little finger. And where to store that? So he was tying with thread, and he was, because he did not have anything to even store and protect. So he was just tying with thread, and he was putting on his neck along with him one by one as he was collecting, because teacher said that 1,000 fingers to be collected. And as he was collecting fingers, little fingers, and wearing it like a mala in his neck, so he is called Anguli Mal. Anguli means little finger, and Mal means garland. So he was storing that, or he was keeping this all fingers, cut fingers, as a mala, as a garland in his neck. And so he was from Ahimsak, he was nickname he was given Anguli Mal. Anguli means finger, and Mal means garland. So one day Bhagavan Buddha was passing through the same forest. All his devotees and disciples said that, Bhagavan, please don't go this way, because they are very dangerous. Angulimal is residing there, and he will kill and he will cut your finger. Bhagavan Buddha said, no, I want to go. Bhagavan Buddha started alone walking towards forest where Angulimal was living. Then Angulimal has seen that somebody is coming, and he shouted to stop. So Bhagavan Buddha did not stop. And without any fear, with cool and peaceful mind, he was walking ahead. Angulimal was coming forward towards Bhagavan Buddha. And as he reached to the Bhagavan Buddha, even Bhagavan Buddha was very cool, calm and steady without any fear. He was shocked that till now, whoever heard my name is frightening and shaking, and this person is not at all fearing by me. So that don't you fear by me? Bhagavan Buddha said, no. Do you know who am I? I am Anguliman himself. Bhagavan Buddha said, I don't fear from you. Then Bhagavan Buddha said that I don't fear by weak person. I don't fear by weak person. Angulimal said that, Arey, Bhagavan, do you know who am I? I am not a weak. I am so powerful. I have killed these many people. And within no moment I can cut off your head. Bhagavan Buddha said that, Angulimal, you are not strong. You are not powerful. You are very weak. If you are strong, okay, can you cut or can you bring 10 leaves from this tree? He started laughing loudly that, Arey, you are saying me just to take out 10 leaves. I can take out whole tree. Bhagavan Buddha said, no, you just take out only 10 leaves. He went, he took out these 10 leaves and given to Bhagavan Buddha. Bhagavan Buddha said, no. Now again you connect or join these 10 leaves as it is. Again he started laughing. What you are talking? It cannot be connected, it cannot be joined. Bhagavan Buddha said that if you cannot connect these 10 leaves, then how do you believe yourself you are strong? You are so mighty and so powerful. And as you were saying me to stop while I was going ahead, this is the time for you to stop. Don't you think you have to stop now? How many people you have killed? And these divine words of Bhagavan Buddha have shaken the complete heart and conscience of Angulimal, and his inner conscience was awakened, and he caught the feet of Bhagavan Buddha and became great disciple of Bhagavan Buddha and became monk of Buddha Sampradaya and became great saint. So Tulsi Ram, when he was that deeply loved to his wife, and when he turned to this spiritual path, he became great poet or kind of Rishi. Here Angulimal also was a kind of great robber or Daku. But when he is turned to this path, he became great saint. So from murderer to monk and from sansari to sadhu, this transformation, because they were deeply attached to the world, so they are deeply attached to the God or godly path. Now, based on this ground, Bhagavan Nityananda Swami had asked the question that Maharaj, means for Bhagavan Swaminarayan, is it that one who is deeply attached to the world can only be attached deeply to the God or godly path? One who is attached to the world normally just, and he can not have deep love and affection with God? Is it that? So this is the question. Then Bhagavan Swaminarayan said that, Sriji Maharaj replied the distinction between these two types is not inherent. They develop into these two types on account of their own actions. So these two type of people are not by default. Right? These two type of people are not by default. Means some people can have naturally deep affection with God and some cannot have. No, these two category is not by default, or it is not from eternal. It is not from endless. One day it has made. So Sriji Maharaj replied, this distinction between these two types is not inherent. They develop into these two types on account of their own actions. They develop into these two types on account of their own actions. It is not by God. It is not by from the beginning or from time immortal. When a person acts, the intensity of the urge to act falls into three categories: low, moderate, and high. Then what is the factor behind this category? I think till now, is it clear? Are you following me? Okay, Rangareddy sir? Yeah, fine. So this Bhagavan Swaminarayan is saying that this kind of category, or there are no division in our souls, that these souls will have affection with God and these souls will not have. That's what even Praveen sir had said in the beginning, right? That and that great misunderstanding and myths Bhagavan Swaminarayan want to clarify in this Vachanamritam. We believe by seeing Swamiji mostly what household people believes. Oh, it was Swamiji, your good luck that you have become Swamiji, right? It was not in our luck. And so we got married. Now those who are not married, for them, it was not their luck, so they did not get married, right? So it is not that Swamiji's fortune and so they have become Swamijis, or from household also there are so many great devotees. But by seeing any great devotee, what we comment or judge or give explanation that yes, it is his great fortune and punyam sukrutam that he is a great devotee. We cannot become that level of devotee. It is not that we cannot become that level of devotee. We don't want to become that level of devotee. That is the fact. We don't want to. I think same thing you will be saying to the students also, right? Yeah. When somebody is not studying well, what do you say? Do you think that the students is not capable or eligible? No, he is capable, he is eligible, but he is not having that wish or desire or burning desire to study. So in this also, my dear Gurukul family members, yes, it is not by default, by birth, or is not inherent or natural that few will have affection with God and few will not have affection to the God, or few will have average or normal affection with God. No, it is completely based on our act or actions. Now next, Bhagavan Swaminarayan had asked, then what is the factor for three type of these categories? So then again Nityanand Swami asked, are the three categories of intensity of urge to act dependent upon three attributes of Maya, or is there some other reason? Again Nityanand Swami is asking that, Maharaj, these three categories like moderate, highest, and what was the third one? Yeah, low, moderate, and high. Yeah. So low, moderate, and high, these three categories are because of attributes of Maya, or there is some other reason? Sriji Maharaj replied, the three categories do not depend on the attributes of Maya. Bhagavan Swaminarayan is very clear and crystal clear. Bhagavan Swaminarayan is saying that it is not because of Maya or attributes of Maya. The intensity is low when only the senses are engage in the enjoyment of the object of the attachment. My dear Gurukul family members, it is very good, interesting subject, and try to understand. The intensity is low when only the senses are engaged in the enjoyment of the object of attachment. But when the mind also takes part in the enjoyment along with the senses, the intensity becomes moderate. And when the soul also joins the mind and the senses in the enjoyment, the intensity becomes the highest. So three category, low, moderate, and high, these are based on engagement, based on involvement or engagement. What is that? Now try to understand. Whenever we are enjoying any kind of worldly object, for example, for example, we like to have respective sweet food, or like Manchurian rice or pizza, right? Whatever we like too much. So when we are eating that food, I'm taking example only food. It may be for ears, can be for eyes, it can be for touch, it can be for nose also. All five senses we have to count. But as example, we'll take only a swad, taste. So when we are eating something, or when we are seeing something, or when we are hearing something, if only our sense is involved in this act or action, then that force becomes low. That force becomes low, means that category becomes low. When along with our senses, means eyes, ears, nose, or tongue, even our mind, means antahkaran, our conscience also gets involved for enjoying that object or panch vishay, then that category falls the moderate. Now, along with senses, mind, even our soul, means our jivatma, gets involved or engaged in that enjoyment, then that category becomes the highest. That category becomes highest. See, sometimes when you are eating and when your missus will ask, how is the curry or how is the papu? And what will you say? Let me check. Let me check. Already one bowl you have finished. But your attention was not there. It was only for tongue was involved. Not even conscious. Not even soul. So we have eaten, but we don't know what was the taste or what is the taste. And so again, we, along with our conscious, we taste again, then we say, yeah, little salt is extra or less, whatever, or little spicy, it is spicy. So when any kind of object we are enjoying, any scene we are seeing, or any song we are listening, or anything we are touching, anything we are smelling or tasting, means eating, at that time, if only sense is involved, then it becomes low level of force or speed or category. Along with senses, even mind is, means conscious is also involved, then that falls in the second moderate category. And when senses, conscious, and our soul also gets engrossed and involved, then it becomes the highest level of category. So these three categories. Now you see, when we are coming to the school, which category will fall? Low category, right? When person is going for a job, Praveen sir is not agree. It is not for all, but in general. So when a person is going to the job, we will be having full interest as he is returning back to home. No. When he's coming morning, so we have to make sure that who came to what time, right? We have to maintain a record. But time of living, we need not to maintain record. We have to maintain record that nobody should go early, right? So generally all actions which are negative actions, yeah, this example is not a negative example, but all sinful actions will have highest force. In sinful actions will have, suppose somebody is doing 1 lakh rupees donation. So there is a chance that he may just give normally. His conscience and soul might not be involved. But if a thief is stealing 1 lakh rupees, then yes, his senses, his conscience, and his soul, everything will be so concentrated because he has to take care of safety, security, time, and nobody should identify him. Many things he has to take care. So all sinful actions will be in that, will have engross and engagement of all our senses, conscience, and soul. But all positive, maybe worshipping God, going the temples, darshan. For example, when all of you go to the temple darshan, right? So when we go to the darshan for temple, what will be our force, inner force? Naturally, just we'll go and stand in front of God and we'll come back. After coming back, if somebody asks us what was the God's ornaments and dresses, we may not remember. But if we went for watching movie, then even half of the songs and lyrics and scenes and actions, everything will remember, right? Yes. So these 3 level, low, moderate, and high, this falls and this gets categorized because of involvement of these 3 senses, conscience, and soul. So my dear Gurukul family members, what Bhagavan Swaminarayan is saying that it is a myth that one who is having deep love or these 3 are involved in the worldly affairs and worldly things, his 3 only can be involved for the God. It is not right. It is completely misunderstanding and it's a myth, it is a wrong. Yes, okay, today I don't have any affection to the world and my love for world is just normal. And tomorrow that person becomes a great devotee of God. So his conscious senses and soul to be engrossed in the godly activities, then he becomes highest level of devotee. There was a great devotee of Bhagavan Swaminarayan. Her name is Jhamkubai. Actually, she was, her name was, when she was young, her name was Janakba, means Janak. So she was also born in devotees family and she was born in Gujarat. She was also very handsome and beautiful by birth, as well as she was also good and obedient by nature and loving by nature. So everybody was loving her and she was also devoting herself to the God because she was born in devotees family. Because of her, all these virtues, fragrance, her name was Janakba, but everybody, because of her fairness, everybody started calling as a nickname Jhamkuba. And the king of Udaipur, because this very close to Gujarat border. So king of Udaipur, Rana, he come to know about Jhamkuba and he sent a Brahmin with letter that I want to marry with Jhamkuba. Now they thought that yes, he is a king, Darbar and king. So there is a chance that in the palace or kingdom there is a like alcohol and non-veg, means mans might be used. So we cannot go to that house. And so they have refused that no, we don't accept. your invitation. So he was a king of Udaipur. So with the help of Peshwa Sarkar government, they have arrested Chamkuba and his father and put in the jail. Bhagavan Swaminarayan had, with some other recommendation, Bhagavan Swaminarayan have relieved them, and Bhagavan Swaminarayan said that no, you accept that invitation, otherwise they will harass you. But Maharaj, how can I stay at that house? Because there alcohol and non-veg is being served and used. Maharaj said, you don't worry, we will take care. And finally, they accepted. She got married with Udaipur king, and she went there. And as she was assumed, their alcohol and this Madhya Bhakshan was normal in the palace. So she did not eat for 3 days. As she did not eat 3 days, and finally she was praying Bhagavan Swaminarayan that you promise that you will take care for me and you will protect me. And as it was midnight, after 3 days of fasting, Bhagavan Swaminarayan gave darshan to her, and Bhagavan Swaminarayan said to escape from there. Now, my dear Gurukul family members, it was, I think, almost 150 years, 200 years back story. So at that time, the limitations of ladies, we knew very well. So they won't come out. And again, especially those who are queens, yeah, they're completely always covered with all limits, and nobody even have chance, or they see their faces also, except king. So at midnight, she, with the help of Sari's rope from the windows, she jumped and ran away. As it was after 3-4 hours early morning, all servants and attendants come to know that Chamkuba is missing. Then even king was surprised and disturbed. Then he sent all 4 directions his soldiers in search of Chamkuba. Chamkuba might cross 5, 7 or 10 kilometers far, and it was early morning. The sun was rising, and she had heard the sound of horses. She understood that soldiers are coming. So on the roadside, there was a dead body of camel. And all, like other part of muscles and mans are eaten by other animals and dogs. Only like haddis were there, and it was very badly smelling. But she thought that this is only the place I can hide, and she hid herself in that skeleton of camel. All the soldiers passes from there, but nobody even seen there, because nobody had doubt that somebody can hide in this. It was very badly, it was smelling. 3 days and 3 nights she remained there, hidden in such a bad smell. Then again, after 4th day, she started running, and Bhagavan Swaminarayan gave darshan and directly took her to the Gadpur village with divine power. Now, my dear Gurukul family members, even a male person cannot do such dare, courage, and such extraordinary things a lady or female member devotee has done. Why? Because she had that intense love for Bhagavan Swaminarayan. So it is not that X can do and Y cannot do. X can do and Y cannot do. It is not that. Everybody can do. But thing is, one who wants to do, he can do. One who wants to do, he can do. No doubt, in the materialistic world, everybody wants to become Karodpati, right? But all cannot become, because in that there is a control of prarabdha, in control of previous deeds. But in the path of God, everyone have equal eligibility that everyone can become that level of great devotee of God as great saints, other devotees. In South India also there are great devotees have become, they had very great love for God. In Ramanu Sampradaya, even all Alvars were there, Kudamma were there. So all these devotees, we can also become same level, same kind of devotee. Pujya Devaprasad Swamiji said in this explanation of this Vachanamritam, what like things or equipments they had, eyes, ears, means five senses, body, conscious, all this we do have. And today we are so fortunate and we have plus that because of technology, we can have more benefit. For example, 200 years before, if Swamiji or God has come to our house, so we cannot have even photo memory, or we cannot have any video memory or recording of their divine words. And now we have that facility that if they have come only once, even that we can replay and we can repeat again and again. We can also have, we can revise it, we can repeat it. So, my dear Gurukul family members, Bhagavan Swaminarayan is saying in this Vachanamritam that love for God, or we can say deep or intense love for God, can be developed by everyone equally. Everyone, maybe he is a female, he is a James, he is a young, he is a old, he is a child, he is a adult, whosoever, he is a poor, he is a Amir, whatsoever. Everybody can have equal chance, opportunity and eligibility that they can have deep and great love for God. But thing is that we have to decide that I want to have that love for God. Now we have everything with us. We have beautiful form of God with us. We have 48 megapixels mobile camera with us. So we can capture Ansha Maharaj picture every day. But that will remain always stored in mobile only, right? And one day mobile will be formatted. But we don't have that wish or desire or will that I want to store that in my heart, or I want to develop love for God. And there are many saints that they remember many days darshan of Bhagavan Swaminarayan, 100, 200, 500 different darshans. And if we ask ourselves that even 11 darshans we don't remember. So in fact, what Bhagavan Swaminarayan is saying this Vachanamritam is that if we target, if we decide that I want to have intense love for God, then anybody can develop that love. It is not that for that he need these preconditions or that preconditions. No. Everybody, and that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, Samoham Sarva Bhutanam. Samoham Sarva Bhutanam. That means God is equal for all. Equal for all, that means anybody wants to reach to God, anybody wants to develop love for God, he can develop. Maybe he is born in XYZ caste, category, creed, whatsoever. Irrespective of everything, anybody can have love for or intense love for God, as in today's Vachanamritam, like Tulsidasji had or other devotees Jamkubai had. So, my dear Gurukul family members, let's we pray to Ghanshyam Maharaj, Bhagavan Swaminarayan, that God gives us such desire or such will that we also develop that level of and that kind of love for God. So never believe that, okay, Swamiji is so fortunate, so they became Swamiji, or so and so is so fortunate, that's why he is doing more devotion or dedication. No, we all can do. But thing is, we are smart enough and clever enough, so we take excuse or we show the excuse and we escape ourselves. So it is not right, and it is a myth that one who has deep love for world only can have deep love for God. No, it is wrong. He is having normal just love affection in samsar world, but he can also have great love and affection for God. So it is based on these three, our senses, conscious, and soul gets involved, that then things becomes intense, and that becomes the highest level. May Bhagavan Swaminarayan bless all of us to develop such love for God. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan. Bolo Swaminarayan Bhagavan ki jai. Yeah, any question? You can take 2 minutes.